when you see things like NVIDIA. I mentioned NVIDIA in the tape that I made to remind people we're doing this tonight. NVIDIA went up against 145, 145, 145, pulled back. If I went and looked at a chart, no, I'm not going to do that, but if I went and looked at it probably 7 or 8 times, I remember getting up there, and eventually we got a little bit above it, stayed above it, and then all of a sudden here we are at 154.60, Chuck, today, 154.60. So that is a very positive sign for the overall market, because what that does, that basically tells you the leadership is back. When you see NVIDIA up there at 154.60, you've had a lot of stars along the way, but NVIDIA, you remember the 3-year run it had where it was gaining about 20% a month. It's really is just pretty good stuff when you come to NVIDIA. I know I had a conversation with a guy from California, Fred, and I think, and what it showed me is, Chuck, a lot of people they need more training on options. And let me ask that question before we get started tonight. How many of you really believe that it would help you if you had some more option training, just to bring you up to speed about options and how to use those options and what to do with those options? Okay. And I just think some simple things we take for granted is that a lot of people haven't been taught. In the old days, Chuck, it seemed like the brokers played a bigger role in teaching people how to use options. Now, I guess everybody, they do videos to do these options. And I really don't know if that is something that is, let me see how to say it. I don't know if that's something that really comes across to people with options. What do you think? What does everybody think about that? It's about the videos that the brokerage firms do with options and stuff. You got to know how to use the platform or you can't make the trade, right?
Yeah, part of it is the curse of technology, right? If stuff is more available, everybody gets to it. You aren't walking through the hallways to get that access, right? So when you walk through those hallways, you learn a little bit as you go. You did that. You came up through the ranks, had to learn everything. By the time we get to today's access, someone can sit at their desk, log into their computer, open a trading account, and be trading tomorrow. It's a little bit different than it was back then, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I think with the train and trade that I started doing to show people the tools and everything, we're going to include I'm going to have Jonathan do this, I think. I'm going to have him put together a real 20-minute overview on options each time I do one of those train and trades, because I think it would help people to go through some of the details about options. Maybe I'll include that. Okay. There's old Ann Hoover. Ann, how you doing? You remember Ann, don't you, Chuck?
Yeah, always good to see a familiar face.
Yep. Yeah, I think that we'll do that. Maybe we'll start including 20 minutes or so of option basic training, we'll call it, okay? And maybe kick off each of the series with options, because I think that options are important, especially if you're going to trade options. Now, if you're not going to trade options, just trade stock, that's a different story. But, that's the reason I started my futures first, is because I felt like that with futures first, I could I could show people about futures, and I think it's been a big success with how that's grown. So maybe I'll do some option stuff. We'll start maybe we'll sample that out and see if people really want that education to that level. You
You know,
know,
I'll tell you, Tom, John put a great comment up here, which is that most people don't know what they don't know, right? So
right?
it's always a good idea, even if you think you've got it all. Let's go ahead and review that education. I know I like to review it every now and then just to make sure that I'm looking at what I'm supposed to be looking at because it is easy to look past things.
Yeah, it's what I found. I can teach you how to turn lemons into lemonade. Got a lot of classes on it, but the problem is you got to have a skill level to execute, or really we're wasting our time, and that gets into being able to place orders and do everything about orders. Okay, I just think that that is something that we need to focus on. After talking to one of the customers today, and gave me an idea, I said we need to include that. Yeah, Keith, I remember doing that too out of the Wall Street Journal. Yeah. Well, let's get started on the night, folks. This is our last Wednesday in the month of June, and we got a little something special at the end. If you at the end of the night's presentation, but I want to go through this, and here's some questions you ought to be asking yourself before I start: is how has the trades that's been issued in the month of June been almost perfect? They've been perfect, I guess. How's that happen? Well, there's a process that I follow. Okay. Uh, and that process starts pretty soon as we get to July 1st. I go through the same process every month. People who've been with me for many years know that I do it this way. It starts out with identifying about 25 tickers. And those 25 tickers are where my focus is, and I'll maybe add or subtract some of those tickers during the month. But the bottom line is I'm trying to find tickers to watch that's going to pay me money. That's why we do this, right? To get paid. And I mean, we'll start the new month. Let me just look at the calendar here. July 1st on Tuesday. That's on trade day. That's great. That's super. So Tuesday will be July 1st. We'll kick off trade day. And it actually starts the night before because that's when the market. And just administratively, does everybody know that stocks go to 8 o'clock at night on the same trade day? Does y'all know that? So stock, say if you got a stock and you get out of it at 8 o'clock at night, it counts for, if you open it that day, it counts as a day trade, at 8 o'clock. Now futures go from 6 to 6, but stocks go from 8. So it'd be nice if they were in sync, but they're not. Obviously, I'm doing it this way on the future side, and stock said I'm doing it this way on the stock side. But these are the kind of things that I believe they're important to know, the basics of how the structure is put together. And that's one reason we get started at 8 o'clock here at night on Wednesday night, because we're starting a new day with stocks. And you'll see stocks start moving here at 8 o'clock. And they open it at 8 because of Asia, which is the Nikkei and the Hang Seng, because those are the markets that are going to move the markets this time of night. So Chuck went through my Telegram and he went through my YouTube, and I put a new video in there this week as sort of an overview of how this thing's put together. There's risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Now, that's true if you think about it, because I was 92% accurate in May, And I'm 100% accurate in June. I'm just playing with you, but that's past performance not indicative of future results. Got to have a good time, right? Now, tonight's session is important, and I'd encourage you to learn from my mistakes. I've made a lot of them. I'm a former member of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I have 3 books. I worked with students since 1996. All 3 books are still viable today. That means they're good books, folks. If you don't have these 3 books, you could probably go to Amazon and get them. I would recommend that. And the way I would do to get started, I would go through and read the first paragraph of each chapter and then go back and read the full book. That's the way I would do it. That's sort of a quick way to capture the big picture while you're learning, okay? In my opinion, market's going higher. I say that because of things like NVIDIA, looking at NVIDIA and looking at it go above key numbers. It's sort of riding the trail. Now, if NVIDIA goes up, it's going to pull other stocks up. Stocks in the same sector, and then it spreads over to other stocks. So if you get to, has anybody ever been to a horse race? There's always a lead horse, right, at the end of the race. Well, if you can figure out what the lead horse is in the market, we refer to horses, then you can figure out the trend for that sector and what's happening. And right now, NVIDIA is starting to surge, okay? It's starting to surge. In fact, I'm long NVIDIA, the stock, right now, and probably before this presentation's over, I'm gonna buy some more of it, because I can buy more of it when? I can buy more of it at 8 o'clock at night. It's open for trading. Isn't that great? It's open for trading. It's at 155.09. I'm gonna buy a little bit more while I'm talking to you. You got to make sure that you have the time and force set up that the order will go in. That little sound you heard was me buying a little bit more of NVIDIA, okay? Why am I buying more of NVIDIA? Because the trend's higher. If I buy it tonight and Asia buys it and Europe buys it tomorrow morning, okay, then I'm going to have an edge over people that don't see what I see tonight. And that's the value of what we do. That's in my books talking about that. Now, how do you buy it at night? Well, I do it through Thinkorswim, which is owned by Schwab, and I set it up as EXTO, time and force, extended trading hours. That's how it works. Glenn just said, Tom, MTI said yes. Absolutely, it says yes. So when an MTI says yes, roadmap says yes, it's a number. Take it, in my opinion. Seven Sisters right now, you got E-mini breaking up, 3.2%, NASDAQ 5.5%, 0.80, DAX at 1851. We've got a little catch up to do. Wouldn't that be great for the US to catch up with Europe? Okay. Crude is still down for the year, 9%, and bonds, I believe, is going to be the trade that we can, make some hay on later on. They're starting to talk about lowering interest rates. The pressure's building. It's going to happen. My 10 tickers for the week. Circle above 250 should go higher. It went to 298. Now it's reversed back below. CoreWeave never got above 190. QQQ, the QQQ, think about this. This one ticker, I want you to write this out in paper. I want you to do the value of having this information on Sunday night. If you would have bought 100 shares or one option on the QQQ at 514 when it broke out, guess where that sucker is tonight? It's at 541.13, a new 52-week high. So what I would write down if I had a piece of paper in front of me, and you should, I'd write down, when Tom posts his 10 tickers on Sunday night, set alerts on these tickers because they'll make you money. I mean, who wants to make money? I want to make money. So let's just say, what if we bought one option on the SPY? The SPY right now is at 607. That's 20 points. Equivalent of 100 shares would be 2,000 on the SPY and 36. Could somebody use an extra 6,000 this week just using my 10 tickers? I give it out on Sunday night to you. That is a bonus on top of a bonus when you get that, okay? And I'd go through the rest, but that's just how this works, okay? That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Right, Jennifer? Jennifer found me and she said, at Sawgrass, I really have confidence now. I found somebody that can teach me how this game is played. And we're doing it, aren't we, Jennifer? Let's take a walk down memory lane. In May, 44 total trades, 41 winners, 3 losers, 93% accuracy. That's enough to write home about. That's enough to write home about. .93% accuracy. Yeah, only if it had broke that number to the downside, it didn't. That's what I'm trying to say. You got to learn how this game is played. 93% accuracy in May. 25 winners, 0 losers, 100% accuracy. Let's do the math there. If you add those two total together and take the 3 losses off, what kind of accuracy are you talking about over the last 60 days? Somebody do the math for me. Tell me what my accuracy would have been over the last 60 days looking at those trades. Let's do the math together, okay? I want this to sink in. You better learn what I'm teaching. 44 total trades in 25 is 69 trades, 3 losses, right? So what's 66 over 69? What's that accuracy? 66 right, 3 losers. Jerry says, just fantastic in this math. I liked it. That's 96%. Do you think you might make some money for yourself? Listen to a guy that's that accurate. What do you think? There it is, the Sawgrass, 10 for 10 there. Boy, we had a great Sawgrass, didn't we? You remember the trades. Look where Circle was and CoreWeave, but we're at Sawgrass at the first of the month. Look where they're at now. Let's look at some of my key stocks for June. Now here's my 25 tickers. If you'll notice, I'm trying to figure out after the first 3 days, do I play things to the upside or downside? Look at all those longs. Does everybody see those longs there? Every one of those would have made you money in the month of June. Look at that list. Every one of those. There's old NVIDIA, 142, and now it's at 155, 54.92. I hope y'all are having as much fun as I am going through this because it really reinforces the fact. If you didn't make all these trades, didn't do this, guess what? In less than 3 days, 4 days, 5 days maybe, next Monday night, we start July. How many people here are going to follow and listen in July and have a great month? All you have to do is follow and listen. I will lead you in July, just like I did in May, just like I did in June, all the previous months too, okay? Let's plan on it. The market's going to be a lot better, meaning easier, and I'm going to bring out T-Buzz, the chimpanzee, the third Friday of the month. And when I bring him out, hey, throw those darts. Let's talk about how DTI works. I have a planning session on Sunday night. Who's attended my planning session on Sunday night? That's where I reveal my 10 tickers. Now, do I charge anything for the 10 tickers? I just give them to you, don't I? You get it free by attending Sunday night. But you got to know what to do with it. We've got a video that teaches you that. Train and trade on Mondays from 11 to 2. Train and trade. That's totally free. I do it for everybody. Monday, I also release my newsletters. Everybody here have a member of my newsletter. If you're not a member of my newsletter, sign up now. It's $9.99 per year. Jim said it should be 99 minimum. Get the newsletter right now. Let me know if you're not a member and you just signed up. I want to know how many people are listening. Because let me tell you something. Sign up and be part of it. Ed said he just joined. All right. Anybody else? Got a big crowd here. Yeah, just go to dtitrader.com/weekly. Get signed up. On Tuesday, this kicks off my trade week. It's called T-Buzz All-Stars. Tuesday at 10:45. If you want to know more about that, hit dtitrader.com/T-Buzz. This is the midweek update I do on Wednesday night. I told you what I thought. I said the market's going higher, and I think it's going to go higher from here. At DTI, Sam just defined it. It's all about the process. We follow up throughout the week with flash meetings. I did a special flash meeting today at 1 and reaffirmed the fact this baby's going higher. And it did. We focus on education to hope that you'll become a better trader and learn how this game. Now, if you stick around to the end, I got a big bonus I'm going to give everybody that's part of my Genesis program. Let's focus on the power of Genesis. Does everybody know what? Let me ask this question. Does everybody know what Genesis is? Tell me if you don't know, and I'll get in details. If you do know, I'll get right to the point. But do you know what Genesis is? If I see any no's, I'll get a little deep. There's a no, okay? There's a no, there's a no. Okay, let me explain it. The market trades in 24 hours. The most important hour is the Genesis hour. It happens at 11:30 to 12:30. That hour is when the U.S. markets are totally in control. All the overseas markets are out of hand. You'll find out swing type stocks during that time period. In other words, if you focus on that hour and look for the breakouts and breakdown, you get a head start on what other people are going to see 1 or 2 days down the road, okay? Everybody see that? And that's how it works. Genesis is for stocks, options, and futures, Mark. Stock, options, and futures. It applies to all markets. I want you to stop. I want everybody to get the concept. You got the whole world trading right now. 11:30 tomorrow, the rest of the world goes to the sidelines, and the USA is number one and leading the world during that time period. It sets up the trades. It's a code that I teach, and I built technology around it to give us a head start. It's hard to keep up with unless you got the technology, okay? That's the power of Genesis. Here's what it said today. The SPY, the QQQ, and Diamond, that was yesterday when it said that. It said, we're going up. Now, I want you to pay attention. Notice that the SPY and the QQQ gave a buy signal yesterday, and today, if you look at the current price, guess what? They're all up from that place. That's the beauty of it. Everybody see that? The short in oil was lower. That's the way that works. That's what it looked like on a chart. That was a continuation move yesterday that blew out what was happening. The continuation pattern only happens one every 5 days. We had one yesterday. Let me ask you a question. If you know between the hour 11:30 and 12:30, sort of the Wall Street Journal 3 days early, would that help you trade? Would you know that? What do you think? If you knew that NVIDIA was going to break out yesterday at 146, 147 on Genesis, it's at 155 today. That's $10, folks. Is that worth learning? You got to pay attention this hour. And when you get a continuation pattern like we did, it's telling you it's a big one. Does everybody understand that? Does everybody understand what I just covered? That's a very key point. You can erase a lot of sins getting a day like yesterday. It takes about one of those every 5 or 6 days to make you well. The Genesis algo is using top line technology. A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort went in here. Okay? Does everybody see that? Real-time analysis all done by a computer. Let me introduce you to Genesis, the start of it all. It's when Wall Street's in control. It's the only smart algo in the entire system out there that focuses on this powerful breakout or breakdown hour. Yes, Frederick, that's what you're doing tomorrow. It generates those alerts, everything you need to trade on the go. Entry price, profit target, where you're looking for it to go, and the stop loss. Right in the palm of your hand. You got a computer doing this for you. We built it to take in all the inputs and give you direction. A whole bunch of stocks hit yesterday. Let me walk you through how the membership's going to work. Focus here. Focus is so important. It'll scan through the biggest and most liquid stocks out there. Start with the indexes first, the SPY, QQQ, IWM, GLD, and USO. That's the first foot soldiers to success. When it flags one of these tickers breaking out during the Genesis hour, it flagged 3 indexes yesterday breaking out, which opened up a lot of stocks. You immediately hear that ding in your pocket, an alert hits your cell phone. Get the ticker, the entry price, where you're wrong, profit target, and details are all included so you can practically set it and forget it. Everything you need to target what could be your next great win. 51% gain on ticker QQQ. Easy as 1, 2, 3 to access these constant Genesis trade alerts. They come out, tells you whether it's going up, going down, and what kind of market you have. It's taking data tonight, data tomorrow, and focusing in on the conclusion during that hour. Since options don't trade at night, folks, options on securities only trade when? When do they trade? During the day. Then you got to train yourself to trade futures if you want to trade at night. I don't know if y'all knew that. You can trade futures at night. That's why it's so successful, me teaching that. No delay, get it, 24/7, no download required. It's right there in your Telegram channel, telling you long, short, or out. And I'll answer any questions you have about it. Now's the time to ask. You'll get 2 to 5 alerts per day. You put it through the process I teach you. And you can trade the underlying stock if you want to. That's okay. Big outside returns come from trading options. So if you're new to options, that's totally fine. The basic form of options will work. Call options. I like to use spreads, but you can use call options. Applying into the Genesis trade no harder than shooting a layup. And if you want to get deeper, get income and all that other stuff, we can teach you how to do that also. The key is for you to get it. We have an option boot camp called 101, and all you have to do is go into your members area, and that course is there. You ought to go there and take it. It's a very valuable course. And extra income's right at your fingertips if you learn what I teach in that course. I give it to people. My personal selection for these high-powered options that are not very expensive. That way, if you join, you're equipped to hit the ground running. If I use spreads, about $92 a contract. 107% gain on that one. We did one other day, made 20% on, 84 cents on that one, $84 a contract. 266%. Say you put 2,500 in there. Just say you did. Do the math. 9,325 in cash. Could anybody use that trade tomorrow? 9,325 in cash? I think tomorrow during Genesis, there's a good opportunity to have a blockbuster trade. That's why I'm talking about it tonight. We can charge what we want to charge, but we cut the price down to get everybody on board. The deal is set up. If you join tonight, you get it. You get all the computerized stuff you need for gains like this on options. And if it breaks down, we can go that way. When Wall Street starts selling after the morning flush. The Genesis downside trades play just as good as the upside. We're just looking for big moves on entry, ticker, and target. Now, consider what happened last July. Been home run day. Each would have been a home run trade, 168%, 238, 283, 324. 2000 would have generated 8,400. Okay. Three downside trades that week with the Genesis downside trade bonus included. Teaches all about it. You don't pay the $42.95. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's get to the point. Here it is. I'm about to take y'all on a journey in July. Oh man, you want a seat at the table? It's going to shock you. All the discounts, everything down, $2,500 off, $17.95. That means with the opportunities I'm talking about, the entire membership can be paid for real soon. Icing on the cake. Like Prim. Way to go, Prim. Good job. You listened. Or Witness, you did it again. If you're a new member, you're already ahead with the big trade we did yesterday. That's what I'm going to do. Bonus number 2, take half off. That's right, half off. Make it a no-brainer. $8.97. And this is for a year. $8.97 offer tonight, fills out our 100, and we're done. Take action and get it. And I got a real special treat if you do. We cut it half off. Don't miss out on it. Here it is. Fill out the 100. There it goes. We're ready to take it. Click the link in the chat. Adam, put that link in the chat. Let's finish this thing off. DTItrader.com/Genesis. Call 904-706-3532. Click that link, DTItrader.com/Genesis. Get on board. Don't close that page. You'll get an offer to turn it into a VIP. Now we're talking no renewal fees ever. Lifetime members get free access. This is the big value here. You get the Genesis Algo Indicator. In other words, you can put any stock in here and it will track it for you and say, hey, that stock is a player. I don't know how you can trade without it. The 5 simple ones come with the basic programs by QQQ. The indicator unlocks these Genesis signals on every single ticker in the market. Get that access for it free as VIP. Epic setups. Good deal membership. Guaranteed only to those that buy while I'm live. Don't miss out. They'll fill up. Now, if you're watching right now, go on and join the club. Get in board right this second. Membership at the best deal. Grab the lifetime while you're there. DTItrader.com/Genesis. And y'all remember him, right? He's coming out. So you want to be with me when T-Buzz the Chimp starts trading. He makes his debut in July, the second half of the year. Pretty cool. Now, I'm doing this. I've never done this before with Genesis. I'm going to do it because I want to encourage you to get started. Starting July the 1st, you will count down using my accuracy, my pick of the trades. They will be posted in the Telegram room. I'll do 5 scholarship trades. My goal is for you next week, starting July 1st, is to knock it dead to kick off the month. Doesn't that sound like a great way to get a good month going? Jennifer, I'm sure somebody will call you when you post your number like that. I would. 5 scholarship trades starting July 1st. Entry, go to DTItrader.com/Genesis. Folks, the deal doesn't get any better than this. We whack the price. And now I'm adding 5 scholarship trades to help you navigate that first week of July. How valuable is that going to be, Jim? Mike? How valuable is that going to be to have those 5 trades? Ask my zebra people. Ask everybody here. That is value plus. That is value plus. DTItrader.com/Genesis. John, I don't know what VIP is. Adam, do you know what VIP is? I don't know. Jim says thousands of dollars. Don't kiss a gift horse in the mouth. You ever heard that? I guess I'm the horse.
It's $22.94
For
so
total everything.
Yep.
Do it. Book it. Folks, I'm up just tonight on NVIDIA. I'm up 50 cents on the trade. I'm going to buy some more. Oh, that sound. Sound. You got to love it. Any questions for me? I'll be glad to answer. With me doing 5 bonus trades to finish out this program, it doesn't get better than that. Yes, if you already have Genesis, you'll get the bonuses for being a good customer. We call them the good customer trades. It's all computerized, but I will throw in the bonuses next week, starting July 1st. I'm getting thumbs up by a lot of people. Joe's asked me, does it hurt because I'm smiling so much? No, Joe, but I tell you what, this market, you don't have to warm it up. It looks pretty hot tonight the way it's looking. Laura says, looking forward to it. No, the indicator where it goes, you have to be VIP to get that because once we release it, it's gone. What you get is something very solid. And if you're a VIP, I think the indicator comes. That way you plug a bunch of your stocks in there. So there you go. Great question. Folks, we got to get through on the S&P 6161 to go into overdrive. Right now it's 6149. Joe, did you ever get your one-on-one set up? No, that's total. That's total. 2297 is total, right, Adam?
Yeah, that's total all in. So if you buy the 897, it'll give you an offer to upgrade to lifetime, and it'll just bring it up to that total price. So
Oh, the total price be 2297. I got you.
yeah,
that's fair. Get the big discount off the front end. Instead of paying 4,200, you get it down for 897 and pay the difference, get the indicator, and you got lifetime. I got it. Joe, get it set up, son. We're gonna make some music together. You bring your drums.
yeah, Joe, looking forward to it whenever you do make it down here.
Yeah.
I'll have to take you to one of my favorite spots for food.
The total with lifetime is 2297.
Yeah,
For life.
Jennifer, if you sign up, it should take you to a page that basically just charges that.
Adds that on, right?
Yep.
October 20th and 21st. Okay, we are set up time-wise. 101, Joe and Tom. I tell you what, that sawgrass filled me up for the rest of the year. I couldn't believe, I think people like face-to-face training, don't you? It's a dying art in this business. Jennifer, you get taken care of? Adam, we got any spots left?
They're dwindling, so
Okay.
get signed up. But they're coming in quick, so.
Anybody got any other questions for me? Jennifer, put your phone number here. I'll call you.
Joseph, that's like asking the weatherman if it's going to rain. You just go with, you have to plan and not do what they say.
Got it. My area code's 251 when I call. Yeah, you have to be, Joe. You have to be. Hey, Fred. Fred's doing a 101 in July. Folks, I'm going to wrap it up. Go find us some good stuff to do tomorrow. And thank you for coming tonight. I enjoyed doing it with you. Let's get through that news tomorrow and see if this baby wants to run, baby, run. Thanks, Adam. Enjoyed it.
Thank you, T-Buzz.